So listen up, everybody. Well, first of all, my camera is not straight here. There we go. Now we got the whole logo in there. The logo of me, Brian Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon and The Blackest Heart, both published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing Robert Galbraith's fantastic British mystery, The Silkworm. Now, everybody knows by now that Robert Galbraith is the pen name of J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter series. Well, Harry Potter series is over with. She struck out and to do a change of direction in the career and just write British cozy murder mysteries, you know. The Cuckoo's Calling I reviewed earlier on the channel. Now we're to the Silkworm. We're going to be reviewing the others in the series also, as well as we'll probably end up reviewing the Harry Potter books too, eventually down the way. Let's talk about the covers. We always talk about the covers first because you know I love graphic design and cover illustration. And I gotta say, just as I gave the Cuckoo's Calling almost an F, I don't like the title of this book or the cover, even though I love the book itself. I think that the American publishers did an absolute shit job on the cover. And I also think that the American publishers didn't really make things any much better. I mean, this one's slightly better. Silkworm, slightly better. Book 3 is a career of evil, which gets a touch better. But then the next two books I actually really like these covers, but we'll review those when we get to them. So covers are out of the way. You know, no offense to the person who designed these. I just don't like them. I don't like them. And you know that I love 99% of the covers in my vast library here, which I've got. You know that I love most of the covers, and I appreciate artwork. Just not digging these. However, the books are magnificent. So let's get into this book, The Silkworm. It's about our main guy, our main guy, Cormoran Strike, who is a private investigator in London. And he is now on the case of a lady walks into his office. Now, Cormoran Strike gets an assistant in this book, The Cuckoo's Calling, named Robin. And they solve the mystery here. Now they're a little bit more familiar with each other, and they're solving this mystery. And so Cormoran Strike and his assistant Robin now have to solve the mystery of the missing author. That's why I love this book so much, is because we get sort of an insight into the inner workings of publishing, agents versus editors, this, that, and the other, and how you know, at least in this book, how petty publishing can be, and how petty competing writers can be, and competing agents and competing publishing houses. All that kind of stuff is kind of incorporated into this because we've got an author who's gone missing. And his wife is like, comes into Cormoran Strike's office and she's like, my husband is missing. We have a special needs kid at home who really misses her father. You need to find the my husband. So Cormoran Strike and Robin sort of drop everything else that they've got going, and they go to locate this author, and they find him. Cormoran Strike tracks him down, and he's been murdered in a very gruesome sort of paganistic, satanic, cult-like way. And so everything's very shocking from the get-go, and now Cormoran Strike has to figure out why this guy was murdered, who murdered him, and as he investigates things, he kind of gets into this world. In this book, he got into the world of high fashion and fashion models. Now, in this book, Robert Galbraith is getting into, I keep referring to her as J.K. Rowling. It's Robert Galbraith, J.K. Rowling. Whenever, if I say he or she or her, him, just know that I'm talking about the author. Maybe I should just say the author. The author gets into the publishing, sort of the nitty-gritty and dirty secrets of the publishing industry, at least according to this novel, The Dirty Secrets. Because I've worked in publishing. I I find everybody I meet in publishing to be absolutely delightful. I have no problems with any of them, nor do I compete with anybody or have any petty issues with anybody. However, in this book, it seems like everybody in publishing hates each other and is out to just stab each other in the back, which is kind of cool and fun to read about. And this is what the murder sort of motif is the missing author is named Quinn. Let me see. Quinn. Owen Quinn. And he's, by the way, I also just watched, as I read this first, and then I watched the episode, I don't know who did it, HBO. They're filming all these novels. Each novel is about 2 to 3 hours long as a film, and it's up on YouTube, and I actually watched it. I really, really loved the actors that played Cormoran, Strike, and Robin. They play off each other great. They're just great together. And so, just a note, the books, I have not watched A Cuckoo's Calling. I did watch this one and read this one. And the TV show follows the book pretty closely. I mean, there's some differences, as you'll always find, but it's a pretty accurate representation of the book. Anyway, let's get back to the book. Murder mystery, gruesome murder. All of everybody that's a suspect that's in the publishing industry, all of the authors that compete with him, and everything. And one of the motives that we're thinking of, one of the motives that the author builds into this is Quinn's next book, which only a handful of people have seen, his agent, his editor, a few other people have seen, his wife. Only a few people have seen this, but it's going to be an expose on all the pettiness that goes on in publishing. So that's why I brought that up at the beginning, is because now everybody that works in publishing is a suspect, because he's very, very kind of, brutally honest about what he's seen. And anyway, probably a better description. I'll just read the jacket copy, probably give you a better description. I love this book, by the way. When novelist Owen Quinn goes missing, his wife calls on private detective Cormoran Strike. At first, she just thinks he has gone off by himself for a few days, as he has done before, and she wants Strike to find him and bring him home. But as Strike investigates, it becomes clear that there is more to Quinn's disappearance than his wife realizes. The novelist has just completed a manuscript featuring poisonous portraits of almost everyone he knows. If the novel is published, it will ruin lives, and there are a lot of people who might want to silence him. And when Quinn is found brutally murdered in bizarre circumstances, it becomes a race against time to understand the motivation of a ruthless killer. A killer unlike any Strike has encountered before. That's pretty much the way I described the book. Yeah. So anyway, I really, really liked this. I liked this one. I liked Cuckoo's Calling. I liked this one a lot more. So I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. I can't remember what I gave that one. A 9.5 out of 10. It's just a great British mystery. And you know I love collecting British mysteries and reviewing them on the channel. So here's another one that you can get yourself interested in. Covers,